Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to FJ Toys Aero Models 2176. FJ Toys was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat new helicopter for you today, folks. This is the RC Era C138 Pro model. This is an upgrade over the previous C138 that RC Era had put out about 6 months ago. This one now has a brushless motor, brushless main rotor motor, and it's capable of flying inverted. It does this as a stunt mode, folks. We'll talk about that here shortly. Again, it's a very nice looking 133 scale Bell 206B Jetranger helicopter. The paint scheme on it is the Swedish National Police Force paint scheme for their helicopters. So if you're wondering what the police means, that's from Sweden. That's what they call them in Sweden. I guess police. So other things about it, it has lighting on it. It has actually really nice lights. It has, I believe, red right, and green on the green on the right, red on the left, light on the tail boom here, and on the front it has a nice spotlight in the front of it that light up. Very visible too, these three lights. So that's pretty cool too for this particular helicopter. It's lightweight. It weighs only 114 grams with a battery, so no registration is required for this particular helicopter. It's also very easy to fly. It has altitude hold mode where it'll maintain altitude automatically. Also, it has optical flow mode. In the belly here, you can see there's a little camera right there. This camera looks below the helicopter and uses what it sees below the helicopter to automatically maintain its position. Well, I don't know how effective that is. Some helos and some drones work very well with that, and some don't. We'll see how well this one works when we actually take it and fly it. And finally, it does have an auto-inverted mode where you can press a couple switches on this particular controller here, and it will automatically flip upside down and fly upside down. 3D. Okay. Actually, it's cheating 3D because it requires no skills, folks. You'll see when we go actually demonstrate it. But it's pretty damn cool still at the same time. So, okay. It's a very maneuverable helicopter. It uses swash plate control. So we have actually full cyclic and full collective control on these two rotors, on these rotor blades here. So that makes it very maneuverable, able to do very fast turns, very fast pitch control, and also even flying upside down. Okay, automatically though. You can't do manual flying, manual 3D. It's just automatic with this particular helicopter. Other things, powerful and durable. It has a brushless motor for the main rotor. However, the tail rotor blade is powered by a Coreless brush motor, so it still has some brush motor control on this, although the main rotor on this, the one that's important, that's going to see the most stress, is brushless. So that should help maintain durability of this particular helicopter for long flying without worrying about burning out motors. This little tail rotor here is not really going to be putting a lot of stress on that motor, so that tail rotor should last a long time, hopefully. Okay, I'm putting this down for a second because I want to show you the next thing here. This is powered by these little 7.4 volt, 350 milliampere lithium ion batteries. Okay, that's supposed to give this helicopter up to about 8 minutes of flight time. Now, one thing about this, it is charged through this Type C USB connector here, so you should be able to easily charge it either on your laptop or through a phone wall charger. But the thing about it is, it's a proprietary battery. You're going to need to buy the batteries from RC Era for this particular helicopter. So if you do decide to get this particular helicopter, think about buying multiple batteries, 2 or 3 batteries, so this thing will last longer. Your flying will last longer, and you'll enjoy the helicopter more if you have extra batteries. Another thing I don't like about this particular battery, it does have an on-off switch on it. That's how you turn on the helicopter. However, by pressing that switch, let me see if it actually does that. Holding it down. Notice that you can turn on the battery and it stays on. So I'm concerned about turning on this battery and then forgetting to turn it off And you can destroy a battery that way, folks, if it burns itself out, you know, if it continues to discharge, particularly through this little, it'll take a long time through this little LED, but still, it's draining power from that. So let's turn that off. So remember to always make sure that when you remove the battery from that after a flight, make sure that you do turn off this battery. Look for that light to make sure that it is off before putting it away. Okay, you don't want to put it away while that battery's still on. Other things about it. It's ready to fly. It comes with its own included transmitter, as you see here. Let's go over some of the transmitter. Is powered by 4 AA batteries. Notice these high-quality Dollar Tree batteries that I got in here. They work just fine, particularly with these toy helicopters like this. Let's go over the switches on this. It does have rates control, beginner, intermediate, and expert. And what this does is it adjusts how reactive the helicopter is. Okay, in beginner mode, it's very sluggish. Put it in intermediate mode, it gets a little more pep. And in an advanced mode or expert mode, sliding it all the way to the right here, it makes it very, very reactive, very maneuverable. So that's very important for when you're flying inverted too. We'll talk about that here shortly again when we get to it. Another button on here, it has an emergency stop button. I don't really recommend ever using this unless the helicopter's flying away and you can't control it anymore. Press this button here, and that will stop the motor, and this thing will come plummeting out of the sky. The down point of that is it's going to break. It's probably going to break when it crashes into the ground, so be very careful about using that. Only use this as a very last resort to bring your helicopter back. So other buttons on this, of course, this is a Mode 2 controller. I think there is a Mode 1 available too. The reason I'm saying that is because these 2 little 3D activation switches here. One is for Mode 2, it says, and one is for Mode 1. Left for Mode 2 and left for Mode 1. So there is possibly a Mode 1 controller out there, just letting you know. But I got a Mode 2 controller, so that means this is your throttle or collective. And this is your yaw, which turns the throttle. This makes the helicopter go up, go down. This makes the helicopter rotate left or rotate right. And this on the right here is your pitch roll stick, which would be called make sure I got this right, cyclic. This will be your cyclic control. So this makes the helicopter pitch forward, makes the helicopter pitch back, makes the helicopter slide left, it makes the helicopter slide right. So we got collective and cyclic here. So that's what we got. Other buttons on this. Again, I mentioned this button here. Well, again, let me go into this a little later. I want to go over the other buttons on this. We do have yaw trim, which, you know, if the helicopter is going uncommanded, right or left, you know, slowly rotating, you can adjust that with this here. This will stop that movement, hopefully. And we do have, supposedly we do have some trim of the left-right trim, sliding trim. So if you know if you see the helicopter sliding to the left, you can counter that by bumping this button a few times to the right until the movement stops. But let's go into the inverted mode. For this helicopter to fly inverted, there's a few things you need to do. First, you got to put the helicopter into high rate mode by sliding that switch all to the right. Then you got to raise the helicopter to at least 3 meters into the air to give you some room in case it descends. You don't want it crashing into the ground when it's upside down. So they tell you to take it up to 3 meters, and that'll give you some slop there to prevent that from happening. And after that, the next thing you need to do is press this 3D button upward to activate 3D mode. And then to tell the helicopter to flip, you just move the stick right or left, and the helicopter will flip. So that's how it's done. Now, when the helicopter's inverted, the controls are the exact same as they were when it was in normal flight. Okay, normally when you're flying 3D, controls reverse, particularly for the collective control. Okay, in this case, it doesn't. So this will still be up and this will still be down, even when this helicopter is inverted in this automatic 3D mode. So that's going to teach you some bad habits if you do want to transition into real helicopter 3D. But most beginner pilots would enjoy just being able to automatically fly it like that, even though you're going to be learning some bad habits by doing such. It also does have automatic takeoff and automatic landing buttons. right here. And by pressing that button, it'll automatically take off, and pressing the landing button, it'll automatically descend and land. So that makes it even more easier for beginner pilots to fly this. So that is the RC Era C138. Make sure I covered everything I wanted to talk about. I did, I believe. Oh, did I mention it's only 114 grams? It's only 114 grams, folks. That means this does not require any registration or remote ID in most countries, folks. You don't need to worry about that with this particular helicopter. And there's no camera on it either, so for those countries that do require camera birds, this doesn't have a camera bird. So still, it does not require any remote ID or registration in most countries. So that's the RC Era C138 Pro. Let's go over what you get in the box. You get the instruction manual. It comes in Chinese and English. It's a good instruction manual. I recommend reading it entirely. You get the helicopter, of course. You get the controller, and you get 1, 2, or 3 batteries. I recommend getting multiple batteries, again, because you're going to have a hard time finding these probably in the future. So get 2 or 3 batteries to go with this, I recommend. You get the Type-C USB cable to charge those batteries, but you got to provide your own power supplies, namely through your laptop or through a wall charger. Again, these are small enough that you can charge it with a laptop, so keep that in mind too. And you do get a spare set of propellers, or rotor blades, main rotor blades, and a spare tail rotor blade, along with 2 tiny screwdrivers. Now, these are both needed to change the blades out on this. Actually, this is needed to change the main rotor blades. This one here has an odd looking tip on it. Okay, I took the screwdriver out. I wanted to show you up close. But again, it is an odd looking little screwdriver with this tip here. But again, it is mainly for the main rotor blades, removing the main rotor blades, because they have that weird looking screw. Okay, this is the only type that will fit in there. So that's what it's for, folks. Okay, in case you're wondering, that particular screwdriver. So that's the RC Era C138 Pro. Let's take it out in the field, folks, and see how it flies. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the indoor test flight facility of Quadcopter 101, my basement. Okay, and now I have the battery inserted. Okay, to turn this on, you just press and hold that button till the lights, or till you hear the noise from the ESCs. Notice the flashing lights, folks. Pretty cool, huh? So that's really nice lights. Okay, I am going to place it on the pad, point it away from me, since this is a helicopter. Point it away, it makes it easier for me to fly it. Okay, then turning on the controller up, and it automatically binds. But to arm the motors, we need to go up and then down, and that completes the bind. So, and then the lights become steady. Okay, now before we take off, this is going to be its first flight. I want to calibrate its gyros. Okay, to do that, you put it on a flat level surface like so. After it's bound, you bring both sticks down and to the left until you hear that beep and you notice the lights flash. So that calibrates the gyros. Hopefully that'll help with the optical flow stabilization so that it doesn't drift too much in takeoff. Now I'm going to try the automatic takeoff first. Let's press that button there. And let's see, is it going to go? Yes, it is. So be careful, folks. Do not do automatic takeoff indoors because it can go to the ceiling. Okay. But let's check it right now. It seems to be holding its position. Doing a good job, actually, holding its position. Let's go a little bit higher. About eye level. And let's go forward. And I am in high rate. Let me go to the beginner's rate. And bringing it away from the wall there. Let's see if it's going to keep on drifting. No, it's holding its position. So the optical flow seems to work okay indoors. Okay, we're indoors, folks. Outdoors, I don't know how well it's going to work in the wind. We'll find out when we take it outdoors. But let's go forward. Whoa, it's very reactive, even in beginner rate. Is that me or is that the helicopter itself? Hold on, let's try the automatic land button. Okay, and from there, let's try a manual takeoff this time. So bringing both sticks down and out, that'll start up the motors. And then giving a gradual throttle. Whoa, you don't want to go too high right there. So now let's just fly it around, folks. Can I control it? I want to check that yaw again. Okay, the yaw's very, very reactive, so keep that in mind. I want to go around the stanchion. Coming over my way. But yeah, it's very reactive yaw. And I got to put a little bit of bank with that yaw to get it to turn right. So keep that in mind. Don't just depend on yaw alone to get you in it through a turn here. You're going to need to put a little... Here, I'm going to get down on my knees here so I'm on the same level as this thing. But you're going to put a little bit of bank in that. See how I'm doing that? At the same time. But yeah, it's very reactive. And this is a beginner rate. So it's a reactive quadcopter, or not quadcopter, helicopter. Okay, let's go over my hot tub, which I've never used. Good looking helicopter though. Okay, bring it a little closer and let it sit there. Let's check that optical flow. Went up a bit higher. Optical flow does work, okay? But again, I'm indoors. There's no wind here. But it's holding its position relatively well. There's a little bit of a breeze here because I think my heater just kicked off. Yeah, it has. So there's a little bit of a breeze, so it's bouncing around a bit. So breeze does affect it a bit, but still holding its position relatively well. So we'll fly it around until that battery goes kaput here. I am not going to fly 3D with this in here. You know, those stunts. I am not going to do that. And why not? Because it probably requires quite a bit of real estate in the vertical mode there. So I don't have that when you're flying indoors, folks. You got a ceiling and you got the floor. So, boy, it flies nice though. Let's see how maneuverable it is. Very maneuverable. Extremely maneuverable. But now, think about this helicopter. Let's land it right there. And I'm gonna turn it on again manually, and then we'll take off from there. The thing about this helicopter is that motor is not direct drive. I can hear the gears there, and I guess most helicopters are not direct drive for that, because the motors spin a lot faster than those props do. Okay, so you can't really have a direct drive helicopter. I don't know. Is there direct drive helicopters out there? It's just that the motors spin so fast that making a direct drive helicopter would not be practical. You know, because you don't want the main rotor spinning at that same speed. Boy, that's a maneuverable thing. Let's see if I can land it right on the pad, on the H. Yeah. Neat helicopter. Okay, automatic takeoff, but this, again, I got to watch it. I got to reduce the throttle so it don't hit the ceiling. It tries to hit the ceiling on that automatic takeoff. Probably gives it about a few meters of height after takeoff. But again, don't do automatic takeoffs indoors. The way to do it, again, let's land it and show you real quick. Do manual takeoffs indoors, folks. Again, both sticks down and out to start the motor, and then gradually increase the throttle so you don't hit that ceiling. So pretty cool, and a reasonably good long flight time. Well, there's another light on the back there. I did not notice it. It's on the actual tail rotor. See it there? On the tail boom at the very end. That red light there. Blinking. Blinking red light. Okay, one thing. Let's put it into hover again. And let's see what happens when we yaw it. Oh, yeah. Notice how broke out quickly out of auto hover. When I give it a yaw, let's try the yaw to the left. And you know why that is, folks? Let me show you that. Why it doesn't stay steady and when you yaw it. The reason being is, let's land it a bit closer to me. Hard landing. The reason that happens, folks, why it doesn't, why it goes haywire there when you turn the optical flow is, it's because this is not directly under the main rotor mast. There is a difference there. So it's sensing that and it's trying to counter that. It thinks it's drifting, in other words, right or left when you do that yaw. And that's why, you know, in auto hover with this particular helicopter, when you rotate, it's going to go a little bit haywire there. So let's go back into the air again automatically. And again, let's go flying around the room, around my flight facility here, my indoor test flight facility. Boy, I want to take this outdoors and see what it does outdoors. This is, the maneuverability of this is pretty awesome. So, it probably could do a really, this is full left, but I'm in low rate. I'm in low rate, folks. Okay. Oh, there goes the telemetry. Did I tell you this has telemetry, by the way? It tells you low battery. So we're going to land it right now, folks. Then we'll take it outdoors and get a full flight on this outdoors. So that's just an indoor test flight of this thing, showing what it can do. So pretty cool. So let's take it outdoor, folks, and see what it can do out there. Hope you enjoy the second part of this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to a beautiful cold winter day here in Erie, Pennsylvania. I think it's 21 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but we're still going to fly the RC Era C138 Pro. Okay, to turn this on, we're going to press the on switch here till we hear the ESC's chirp, like so, and then put it on my launching pad here, and then turning on the controller, binding it. And we're going to do an automatic takeoff today, since we're outdoors, pressing the auto takeoff button. And see now it holds its position over snow. Actually, not too bad. It's sensing the all the holes in the snow that my dog and I made. So, you know, normally that shouldn't be working in snow, but it is. Let me go out in the snow a bit. And you know what I want to try right away, folks. Going to high rate, going up a bit higher, pressing that 3D switch and flipping it. And seeing if it actually flying as, yeah, it's flying like normal, except it's upside down. Let me get a photo of that. Snapshot. Pretty cool, huh? That it could do that. Let's try that again. Okay, we are in high rate. Maybe I got to go higher again, 3 meters. Yeah, you got to be up above 3 meters to do that. It won't let you do it low. Cool. Cool. Now, the only reason it can do this, folks, is it has that swash plate. That swash plate enables it to do this. Cool, huh? Okay, enough of that. Wait a minute, one other thing. Can it go forward, backward on a flip? I guess not. Only right or left. Okay, we're in high rate. Let's fly it around. I'm going to get off the snow. Okay, that's the high rate yaw on this. It's pretty fast. The banking isn't very responsive in high rate, but the yaw is definitely. I'm going to do those funnels. So, oh no, yeah, this is a pretty nice helicopter with the ability to flip. I'm doing it again.
Cool. Flying upside down. Let me get some upside down flight. You know, in the beginning of my videos, I always have a little clip showing what the aircraft can do. And I want to include this clip in there. Well, right through the sun. Sun's real low because it's December. Going back up again. Flipping and trying to keep it in front of me over here with the sun at my back. Bringing it down lower. So, yeah, wonderful helicopter, this C138 Pro. Now, this has been out for a few months. I'm late to the table here, but that's okay. I'm late to the table to be able to demonstrate it. Going out in the street here. Let's try that not one key return, but the optical flow. Let's see if that'll eventually stop drifting. And it is. It's actually not doing too bad. There is a little breeze right now. Cool. I like this helicopter. So yeah, this is well, it's not a high breeze right now, but it's a little bit breezy from my back and right side. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Police. Swedish police. Now, beginner flyers. You're not going to be able to fly like this as a beginner. I've been flying for years, folks. So, but this flies more or less like a drone. Not a GPS drone, but normal drone with forward, back, right, left pitch movement. But if you're a beginner, I recommend starting off just learning how to hover. That's pretty good. And start off with that. Put the tail boom toward you like this and keep it like that. Okay, and just try to hover in front of yourself like this. You know, learning how this moves, forward, back, right, or left. You know, this is up, down, left, right, yaw, and then left, right, and roll, and then forward, back, and pitch on the right stick. So you just got to learn those. Okay, going back up again to 3 meters. Higher, I guess. Gonna go higher. There we go. And then coming back down again. This is cool, huh? That it could do that. Oh, I like this helicopter. This is a keeper for me, this one. Going back up again. Yeah, this is going to be a keeper for me, this one. Normally I donate my drones and toys. They come in the mail, but if I get a good one, it causes me to giggle. I keep it. You know. Okay. No blinking lights yet. And it's a cold day. I'm surprised this thing's still flying. But I got to be careful. Since it's a cold day, that plastic is probably kind of brittle right now. So I don't want to crash it. Okay, high rate. Let's go fast. Okay, bringing it in. And I'm going to do a gentle landing here. Actually, an auto landing. Land. Press the land button and let it land itself. And that's it. So, C138 Pro from RC Era. You got a nice helicopter here, RC Era. I like it. Kind of late to the table again, like I said, to test this, but it's a wonderful helicopter, I gotta say. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.